So let's jump in to Shirobako episodes 21 and 22.
Yay.
We are definitely getting to the end. Things are getting stressful, but also exciting.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So 21, you see Emma working with, I forgot her name.
Michan.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The 3D, they're getting to team up, and it's really
That's
cool
really
getting
cool.
to see that. Yeah, because Michan's been so separate. She's been working on cars and stuff, and finally her 3D company's getting to work on anime like she's really wanted to, and they get to do cool things for Third Girls Aerial Squad.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah, that whole scene where they were just talking about like the difference between using the in-betweens in a different way to just show off like, yeah, like it was what was they working with, like a porky? I don't know what it was.
Yeah, there's like the little pig.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Boar.
The boar.
Yeah, something like
that. It was the boar. Yeah. I was like, oh wow, that made it like the small differences huge. I was like, dang.
Yeah, it was crazy, like how just adding a few in between just makes that so much more smooth. But can we talk about that amusement park for a second? That roller coaster.
Oh yeah.
weak.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so Michan eventually takes Emma and Shizuka to a music park to of get a visual of what people look like when they're like getting tossed around in a vehicle, so that you want good reference material. Right. And so they go to this theme park and they get on this roller coaster and like all freaking out. But it's the smallest roller coaster. Actually, like this, you could find like maybe at a fair, or it's like kind of a kid's ride.
Yeah. No, that's not that bad. Although when the turning on those little things, like man, it really, yeah. But yeah,
they did a good job of expressing the animation for it.
That's right.
It's true. So it was worth it. It's worth the trip.
I wonder how many times they wrote.
Yeah, it's like too many times.
Yikes. Can we talk about Hiraoka for a second? Because he's so annoying in this episode. Like I just wanted to strangle him. It's like when he's way more annoying than Taro will ever be. Like Taro's kind of harmless annoying. Like, you kind of want to...
You just want to kick him.
Yeah, you want to kick him or just like slap him behind the head and just be like, get to work. But this character is just, he's so annoying. And so like learning that he was like at some point enthusiastic in the past, is like, but why are you such a jerk now? You're so just intolerable.
Yeah, as one of our Facebook friends in our anime club group, Tyler DeBoer.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I'm trying.
Tyler,
I'm so sorry. This is a thing I do. Anyway, as he pointed out, Sagawa-san even said that she did not want to work with Hiraoka. Like, would prefer to work with Taro over him, and she's like, that's like, saying something.
Yeah,
and it's terrible. Like, he's supposed to be this guy who's like all this experience, and he's always bringing down me and worse. Like, you don't think you're more superior than me, kind of thing. And he does a crap job.
Yeah. And he brings in these people, and then it makes a big deal of just like, I don't want to redo this. It's not my problem. And it's like, it is your problem. It's your responsibility.
It's your job.
Yeah, absolutely. So just gonna read Tyler's comment. This episode starts out with a recurring question: why do you make the anime? And that's just a very big, serious theme. Like, why?
I like that scene. That was great.
I love it so much. I've spoken on this before, especially on my post all about my personal thoughts on this. Then we have another fun sequence with Michan sitting faces on a roller coaster with Suka and Emma. Hilarious animation, for sure. Like, they're just solid. It was intriguing to see Third Girl Air episode 1. Yeah.
Yes.
Got it.
And compare it and contrast how it to the scene with Exodus first airing in the character reactions. It's very different air, because this is like Musani's or previous one with Exodus was like their first big thing.
Yeah.
Kind of getting back into and this is different. So, like, they have something to live up to with their girl squad, so they have
they're a little bit more confident, and the newbies were more excited.
So Third Aerial Girl Squad is scary, but it's nice to see how everyone's like so much more positive about it, and also they're getting a lot of good feedback too. Now we start having a problem with Hiraoka. Even Sagawa says she'd rather have Taro instead of him. It's never good if Taro is considered better than you. As Miyamori starts asking around about him, we get to learn he was quite passionate in the past, but from Hiraoka's own comments, it seems he was disenchanted along the way. The words he speaks portray his current attitude as one of a man who has taken a fall after fall for others, which is very true. Like, he gets very down on the creators, like their schedule, and he's just like, well, the creators shouldn't have all this control. Finally, episode 13's storyboard is finished. Congrats are in order, but Shirobako being the show it is, I have a feeling all isn't going to be all right, which is very true.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it tries to give some pity to Hirooka, and like it's really hard to feel that.
I know.
Especially with how he does treat the creators, like it's very gross,
very disrespectful.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even if you get burnt out, like there's no excuse to treat people the way he does.
Yeah, he's not in that position, especially because he's like a new hire. So it's like,
oh yeah.
It's really strange, especially in Japanese culture, which I think makes it even more poignant. Where it's just like that's not okay. That's not okay.
And he's already gotten a fight in the office.
Oh,
yeah,
right?
fire this guy.
Yeah, he did. He got into a full-on brawl.
Oh my god, a screaming match. That was insane.
That was intense.
But yeah, I mean, like as we know here, I think Neto has a comment for us on Facebook. Yeah, things were going too well. It was about time for the creator of the manga to come and reign in Musane's parade. Prolonged and angry sigh.
Yeah, so an angry sigh. Episode 22, like everyone's like celebrating, like they finally finished the VO for the final episode. They're done recording. Mm-hmm. Everything's going according to plan. Yeah. And then at the very last second, they get a call and hear that the creator's like, "No, this is not okay," because the thing with this is that they have to have their own ending because the manga isn't there. I think. Yeah. I think it's what it was.
I think so. Yeah.
And so they need to wrap it up. And not getting the blessing from the creator is
not good.
A death sentence.
Yeah. Wait, no, they got. What's the editor or?
Yeah, the editor approved it.
Yeah. Oh God, I hate that guy.
Funny thing.
Yeah, of course.
Funny story.
Yeah.
So Tyler comes back and said, as production is nearing the final episodes, little issues come up and they're solved easily. This may not seem like much, but it shows how Miyamori and the others have come into their own over the course of the 21 episodes, which is very true. Like, Miyamori's grown so much, and she's handling the schedule so much better, and, like, everyone's kind of pointing out how she's achieved a lot, and she's...
she even convinced Sagawa to work with Hiroko.
Yeah, she mended a relationship that was really bad, and Sagawa is, like, pretty set when something is wrong, but you can tell that she trusts Miyamori because they've worked together in the past. And it's just kind of annoying when Hirooka, like bashes on Miyamori for like, you only got this job, you're only like head desk because there was nobody else. And it's this character's the worst. We finally know why. So back to Tyler. We finally know why Hirooka is in the anime business, and all it took was title and some alcohol. All was great. Drink responsibly. He was shown to be passionate last episode early in his career, but it's shown he was simply a tragic figure. He's a product of his environment. He was blamed and pushed to his limits at all turns. Hopefully this product and his possible new buddy Taro can bring back from his disenchantment.
Yeah.
I do, granted that they're both terrible, I do like the relationship between Hirooka and Taro. Like, it's like the boys' night thing. Every
boys' night.
Because Taro's very like buddy. He was like, "You're my buddy."
Yeah, he's pretty insistent. It's just like you're gonna be my buddy, and they're the odd men out. Like nobody likes them. Yeah. So I feel like they do have that in common.
Yes.
So it's just kind of like, we should team up and be buddies, and I don't know. It's actually surprisingly sweet that Taro's like not completely awful.
I think it was going to him to take him out. I mean, I never see him go out, honestly, with the girls or anyone like that in that aspect. But also, like, the fact that he pushed Hiroko into sharing that was, wow, that was a nice moment that they had.
Like, even though it's really hard to forgive him for how he's acting, like, I guess it gives a good perspective of, like, how people get burnt out and how they end up hating the thing they really loved. Yeah. And how Miyamori is handling it differently. It's, like, a very good way to contrast. Their perspectives.
For sure. Like, I understand why, but it doesn't mean that he should act that way.
Oh, absolutely not. Like, it's very unprofessional and it's terrible.
Yeah.
So, even though I hate him, I appreciate him.
Yeah. It's like, all right.
There's also other few good kind of minor scenes in this. Mm-hmm. We see Shizuka sitting sadly in front of her TV in the dark, drinking a beer, and watching like this show about rising voice actors in the industry. And then there's this high school girl. She's like, "Oh, I just can't keep up with all the work I have and stuff."
Like 4 ongoing series, like, oh.
Yeah, she's like, "I would trade places with you," and it's just so sad to see that one of the group is not really succeeding, but at the same time, I like that everyone's not getting their way. It's not the very anime. Yeah. Everybody wins. It's like, no, it's hard work. Like in the VO industry is brutal, and getting your way in is difficult, and rejection happens. Yeah. So it's interesting to see that play out as well, and it's kind of just continuing. Like she's holding her own, and like there's at one point where Miyamori's in the bar or at Shizuka's bar, and she has a few of the guys
right.
from the other studios.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, you know her? And she's like, yeah, and then she goes like, no, she's going to tell him that. Or Mori was going to say that she was a voice actress.
Yeah.
She's like, don't say anything.
That's interesting. Because, like,
that's rough.
I mean, I get it's your pride, but, like, in an industry like that, I feel like connections is also really important.
It's a lot of who you know.
Yeah.
It's a lot of who you know.
So,
but at the same time, I think she doesn't want to present herself as someone has like a ton of experience or blah, blah,
Sure.
and then be called out and it's like, you don't, because when you have a reputation like that in the industry, doors close immediately.
Yeah.
So she's insecure. She doesn't have experience. I mean,
That's fair.
I can't blame her.
That makes sense. Like, she maybe wants to also find her own way. I think Miyamori has a habit of pushing her friends into situations they may not be comfortable with. We saw with Emma before. It's like, hey, you need to lead these things. And she's like, I don't think I'm good enough. She's like, yeah, of course you are. And like, there's a point of supporting, which I think she also does a good job.
Yeah.
But also pushing maybe a little hard
A little too
sometimes.
hard.
To meet the schedule and whatnot, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's that stress too. It's like she's trying to manage like we need these creators to do their job and stay on time, but also I need to make sure what I expect of them is realistic. And so it's like this really cool balance to see her.
Yeah.
figure
Who's
it out.
that girl that follows her around again? The quiet girl that doesn't.
Oh
yeah, that scene
The
where
other scene.
yeah, when they had the meeting and she's like, "It's that." Like,
Noah's yeah. So the episode title's called Noah's in her underwear.
oh yeah.
And our shy girl Emma's new friend
Yeah.
there's a scene where she has to go to a meeting about, I guess, in-betweens or something, or just key animation. She's like, just work. And in the last meeting, she's like, hey, can you come alone next time? Like, don't bring other people in.
Yeah.
It's just a meeting with you. And she's like super quiet and she can't like speak in full sentences.
Everyone's just waiting there.
It's really weird, but also just super cute because
Yeah.
she's just a background character and like whatever.
Yeah.
I guess she does a good enough job for where she has a
Sure,
job.
sure.
And so she goes in alone and she manages to like squeak out like these sentences and she's doing like these really crazy poses to get
Yeah.
it out. And then the director and everybody else is
They're all,
doing
like,
it
excited.
with her. Yeah, I'm like, yes, you're talking to us. It's just,
That was a great scene.
it's so good.
I love that.
And then of course we get to the end and everyone's celebrating
Yeah.
and find out we can't celebrate yet. It's always a problem.
I love how it was like raining too, and he was outside.
The wind
and
was crazy.
It's like, oh, this is not gonna be good.
So how many episodes do we have left?
2 more.
2.
Just 2?
Yeah.
All right. So it's not 26, it's 24.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So we're so close.
I really just don't know how they're gonna do it. That and all the other characters and like Suzuka and like seeing. I just hope. Yeah, we'll see. 2 episodes I feel is not enough, but.
Is there going to be a second season?
Not that I know of. Like I don't think they've said anything about a second season or that it would happen. Even though I could totally see it happening.
Oh yeah.
Like there's plenty for them to work with.
I just see a lot of people asking if there's going to be a second season on the
Sure.
internet because they say the same thing where it's like, yeah, but the way it ends, you can see it going
There's room, but it's also like once they get this production in, like they could also stop. Is the thing. It's like they kind of get their job done.
Totally. Sweet.
Yeah. What do you two think? Because this is your first time through. I always get really excited here.
It's really good, interesting take.
Yeah. I mean, this is it's a freaking roller coaster, but I love it, and I've grown a great appreciation for anime, and yeah, I just want to see what happens now.
Yeah, now I feel like less harsh about like judging sort of like anime when it's a little skewed and stuff like that because of the stress people are under and the fact that they're always under budget and overworked. So I think that it's a good thing. I mean, the show is very good at making you feel stressed out with it. Where it's like, oh my gosh, how are they going to get this done?
Yeah.
One of those things that says so one of the biggest things that makes me angry is whenever people say someone's work is lazy. Like if something happens wrong, they're like, oh, well, they were just lazy. And I think if you've seen this, like you could never make that comment again because you have a, like you said, like a great appreciation for like what goes into making something like this.
I hope that what was it called? A new game or what was the anime?
New game,
about?
yeah.
I hope that gives you an insider look at the development of games because it's another thing that I see a lot of criticism of. Well, obviously the game developers are really lazy. I'm like, have you done crunch time? It sounds like a bad thing.
Yeah, like any sort of creative or creating content, it's hard. Like we get that here too. It's like you guys were just lazy. You didn't do this thing. It's like, no. So
That's not quite how that
it's
works.
just nice to have that perspective. I'm just really glad this exists. Like even though if it's probably not like 1-to-1, but it's still like gives you newfound
Yeah, this is
perspective.
probably my favorite watch party so far.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of watch party, we gotta figure out what we're gonna watch next.
Yeah, so like what we typically do is carry over I guess 1 or 2 from the previous poll that were in 2nd or 3rd place are very close.
Okay.
And then we'll also pull in some new ones.
Gotcha.
So keep in mind that we do record for, at least right now, every other week. So we don't want something that's like 60 or 100 episodes.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, if you can keep it
12 to 20 is
12 to 20 would be appreciated.
Yeah, someone posted something about, since Shirobako's ending soon, someone said Gatchaman crowds, which I thought was really interesting.
I love Gatchaman crowds.
Because I stopped watching that and I kind of want to watch it. But anyway.
Yeah, there's lots to analyze there too.